Yo, it's your girl 10. Welcome to the second episode of In the House.
Yo, it's your boy Flex next.
It's your boy Tycoon Terry.
We got two special guests in the house today.
Two.
Who want to introduce them?
All right.
Only not introducing me.
Where's that boy Flex boy?
We got one of the hottest Soca producers.
No, stop.
Hold up.
Stop. No introduction.
No introduction.
Yeah, let's go.
We got GBM Nutron and we got GBM Milko
That's right.
in the house.
In the house. How you guys doing?
Definitely.
We could cuss here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
We could
cuss.
talk normal.
Yeah.
It real fucking cool. It real fucking cool outside, boy. I mean, I kind of like assuming that we drinking rum and we talking shit, so I mean,
Yeah.
only need to pop parental advisory in this episode.
We grown.
So did you have your winter coat on as you got off the plane?
I mean,
Hey, where can
I checked. I saw the Instagram story. You didn't look like you had on the winter coat.
when I reached on the plane, leaving Trinidad, I was cool. I was normal. It's when coming off the plane.
When the cold hits you. It's not even that cold right now.
When the cool, you feel like tripping. I'm not waiting for the cold to hit me.
this is
My coat
nothing.
on.
Milko, this your first time in Canada?
In Canada, yeah, definitely. And on the school thing.
So did Nutron warn you about how cold it's gonna be?
Well, I kind of like, remember, it's been in New York, so.
Okay, yeah.
And I have
Nice.
an idea, but I'm on the -4 degrees and them kind of energies.
All right.
I can't take it. I really can't.
Yeah, you in for a treat then. Because it gets worse than that.
Yeah, I was watching the forecast.
We not really staying that long.
But as soon as
So
you
you
leave,
in
it's
for
gonna
a
be
treat.
7 degrees.
I live here. It's in a treat anymore.
All right, so right off the bat, first question. What does GBM stand for, and what year did you start it, or what year did y'all get started?
Now, GBM, we rocking as a team like about 8 years now, and right now GBM stands for Great Brooklyn Movements. So
Our man here's from Brooklyn.
yeah, big up to the Brooklyn posse, the New York posse.
Shout out to East 52nd Street between Tillin and Snyder. What up?
Woy.
Big up.
Before, we would have played around with the letters and thing. I don't know. I think we just kind of like the ring GBM. And then originally it was like the team was a little bit bigger. You have GB God Bless, and that name itself has a lot of history. So there was like a GB before the current GB God Bless.
Right.
And he was Glenn Braffett. And then, GB took on the name and used the letters to mean God bless. Then GB linked up with Marshall, and it was like, they wanted to start something together. I was like, much younger at the time around them, and they decided to call it GBM, GB and Marshall. And I think like, what they envisioned was like, such a a grand idea that they eventually took the letters to mean more than just them. And eventually, we went like different paths. Marshall went down his path, we went our path, and we stick, the name was like already there. So we were like, we are Brooklyn contingent, the studio out there and stuff like that. We spent a lot of time there, GB have Ramajay Mass there. So it was just like, from Trinidad and Tobago, but we have a lot going on here too. We represent a Caribbean community here in Brooklyn. And that is how the name just stick as Great Brooklyn Movements.
As like Terry was saying, like how you guys started GBM and like whatever, with it starting, like how did you guys get into music, really?
It was always about music. It was always about music because individually, all of us, we all dabble in some form, like we all dabble in music. GB himself being a promoter. Sorry, not here to really speak for himself, but you know how people who know GB know how GB is anyway. He, he's like into promotion. He have the mass band Ramage. His history is like production and DJing. So it's like we all have musical backgrounds. When by the time we get together, it was like we already knew it was gonna be that.
So are you the main player now in GBM? Are you the forefront?
Basically, are you Beyonce? So
I wouldn't say so because I don't ever look at our situation like that.
right.
Even if I was or I wasn't, it's like the whole team gonna live anyway. You understand? So it's like everybody's the main player.
Right. Facts.
Did you always want to be into production, or was it more like you want to make music and sing and do that, or did you always want to make beats and make rhythms and do all that on the side too? Was it one or the other? Did you kind of like it just all fell together?
When I first started, it was definitely like production. Music was the first thing I was hearing. I grew up around like a family that, they into parang and they into like, different cultural things, Best Village and stuff like that. So music was always around. Production was the first thing I wanted to get into. It was like living out in New York and going to school in the city and linking up with different people from Crown Heights, East Flatbush. It's different places in Brooklyn. We go into school in the city.
Right.
So, it was like different things, rap, soca, R&B, different things coming together now because different people from different areas who into music go into the same school, and it was like beats was the first thing I wanted to do. That was the first thing I was hearing, like the hip hop kids on them. I didn't know nothing about making music. And I was seeing them coming and they making these rap beats and thing, and I'm like, yo, how are they doing that, boy? And then one of them was like, Fruity Loops, bro.
That's how everyone usually gets their start producing. Fruity Loops, yeah.
And it was a rap from there.
So you even made like soca beats with Fruity Loops?
How you mean?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know they'd have like
well
like all different like samples and stuff like that on Fruity Loops like that. That was also like straight 808 beats and stuff like that.
At that point in time, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just like, hey, I didn't even know the difference between like a kick, a tom, a snare, hi-hat. I didn't know any of those details. I just know like sound. And I just fumbled my way through until I started really like, research and read a little bit more and stuff like that. And eventually I used the tunes that probably was meant for like trap and whatever else for soca. I mean, it was good enough to, like, at that point in time, I wasn't really producing on a professional level as yet, but it was good enough for me to get attention, like the attention of the artists and stuff that I wanted to work with.
Who were some of those early artists?
Honestly, in the beginning, the only person I wanted to work with was Marshall. I was already living abroad and seeing like both sides now, seeing what going on locally with soca in the Caribbean, and then what going on with soca on our world class level. Like it didn't really have much presence. A lot of people would complain about like the palatability of it and stuff like that now. So I was kind of like in the middle. And I just felt like, Marshall Montano, I mean, he's still, very much a prominent figure. So it's like, well, he's the person to take my vision and go with it.
Right.
Because, he's in the position. So, it's like, when I first started working with him, everything that I was doing was sounding weird and different. Because of what I was using, because of the samples and stuff like that. And then eventually, I don't know, we just find something different. But it was still soca, but it was something that relatable to people who not really into soca and things. So
for those that don't know, what song was that you produced for him?
Well, the first song that we ever did together was Mud. That was on Book of Angels.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
That was a crazy track for me because
Heard it right here first, folks.
Oh, so you've been doing this?
Yeah, a long time. That was a crazy track for me because the sample that they ended up putting on there, like from
Mud is mud.
yeah, that's from a movie. A shame that I can't even remember the name of the movie, but the highlight of that song for me was that year Peter Minshall was like choosing songs from his album to do presentations to during Marshall was still doing alternative concept at that time. Yeah, and it was like Peter ended up choosing that song, and Peter Minshall is like, I don't even know if Trinidad really understand how influential Peter Minshall is and what he's done for our culture. So for me, it was like a real big deal. The second song after that was Make Love.
That was you too?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite songs. Wow.
And then, well, song just started kind of rolling after that, like Tiffin, Hot Like Pepper with Sarani.
You see, I was just talking about Bend Over. I didn't know all of this.
Yeah, that's the only one I
Yeah,
knew.
nah,
I didn't know
Bend
all of
Over
this
came
was
late.
was in the catalog too.
Ben Over come late on Ben Over
See,
was
you
actually
learn.
the last one, yeah.
You learn. Wow, man.
Wow.
I have a long history. You know what I mean? I've been dedicating myself to this. Like, I have a mission, I have a cause. Like, I've been dedicating myself to it. And, like, it have ups and downs, and sometimes my role change, but it's like still moving forward. I know that my goal is still attainable now. And that goal is basically just to be one of the ambassadors of like soca music, because I like music in general, but I don't know, boy, something I just have something original comes out of me when I mess with soca, and I like that. I like that authentic vibe.
My guy Milko in the corner here. Ladies and gentlemen, GBM Milko. So when you get your start in
My hero.
when did you get your start in in the business?
I mean, about 2 or 3 years ago. Well, for those who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you don't know, I'm an electrical engineer. So at that point in time, I was going to school doing electrical engineering,
Word?
and
Hold on,
it was a summer vacation.
I got a quick question. What's 30 times 30?
Look back and all it. He can't remember the numbers. It's 20 plus 13. You on 33, my brethren.
Anyway,
Good.
yeah. And it was a summer vacation. I flied out to New York, and I went in the studio, boy, and I was indulging in some activities,
Lord.
But
Sound like a real story.
I was indulging in some activities, and
I hope it wasn't Spoonin.
nah. You know I do condone that flex.
Man,
You
where's
know
that?
that.
Mouth open story, jump out.
It's fire about that.
Who's spooning who?
But the dry goods type now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I just started like hear things in music that I wasn't hearing before. I don't know if I was tripping off, but I started to hear melodies on top of melodies and that kind of thing, and I just started split things out. And he turned around and he watched me so and say, "Yo, you have a vibe, boy. Let me work. Let me start to work and do a thing." And then he had written a song for me about 7 years ago, actually. And I went in Soca style with the song. And I didn't make it past the first round.
Trinidad's a tough crowd, everybody.
No, you could say that, right? But then 7 years later, I just had a song and came from nowhere and everybody knew it. Right in Trinidad.
Who's that?
Was a sweet woman for this, and they broken it down. Right?
As if in the last episode with Steven, he was telling him that was one of his favorite songs.
That
last
was my
year.
favorite record
And
of last
Steven
year.
was like,
Period.
"Yo, this must sound like a personal thing. Like you must have experienced something with some woman personally."
Shout out to Chantel at Westmall.
It's facts.
Yeah, but
Oh, God.
it's like the song, I didn't make it past the first round. And then it's like 7 years later, some of the people that the person that actually won Soca Monarch the year that I didn't make it past the first round is like their songs don't even play on the radio or that kind of thing. So it's like when I get into the studio, he say, yo, we working, and then we started to work on a couple projects. We didn't release them, but we had plans to, put together a compilation and stuff and get them out. And then it was boot camp last year. That's what we used to call it, right? Where we was going from like March, and we used to do all our music beforehand. Like none of the stuff that you're hearing coming out now is things that we just sit down and rush. It's like we've been working since as Carnival finished. We've been working. So boot camp last year, we started our song, which is Carnival to Remember. And we just had the intro alone. And then M1 came into the studio. And M1 and Nucci ended up holding our vibe. And we get on the inside from them. And something about Carnival to Remember just keep resonating with me, and I keep saying to myself, boy, Nucci done on the rhythm already with M1. I ain't getting nobody else this shit. I ain't finishing write this to get nobody else it. I go and fucking sing this. Straight. So I decided, I'm gonna go in and do a thing, and I end up finishing the song, and we let it out, and the rest was history.
Sure.
That piece was hitting, boy.
One thing I did want to ask, Nooch, is how do you determine what is a single and what is a rhythm? Is it up to you? Is it up to the artist?
I think is what is up to whoever stands out the most at that point in time when that decision being made. It's like it can't be it. Music is a real. The creative process is something real secret to me. So it's like I try not to like think too much beforehand.
Right.
You know what I mean? Me personally, like that is my like my stress reliever. That is me getting to express myself. That is me getting to, attempt to make hit songs or to attempt to, like, that's just, music is just me being able to do whatever I want to do now. So I try not to really think about it too much. I don't even really have a specific process with anything. I just have maybe, certain set skills and resources around that is like with the story with On the Inside and Carnival to Remember is originally we were supposed to have one song on that rhythm, and as Milk said, when M1 come into the studio, we end up holding our vibes, and it was like in 15 to 25 minutes we had On the Inside. We were just going back and forth, and he was like, yeah, give me a track there, and it was organic like that. And by the time that process was done, it was like, okay, well, we have a single here now, and we have a single with a collab, and maybe how much of a time passed after, Milk turned it into a rhythm by putting forward something that was like rocking the camp enough where we could be like, yeah, this needs to be a rhythm.
So for example, Lyrical Conquer Me. So, or Destra just a little bit, whoever you worked with first, how does the other artists come into play and make, because from the On the Inside example is like, okay, you and Milko are rocking, and it's in the camp. So for two different separate artists, how does that come about?
Well, to be fair, that was also a timing where I was heavily focused on production, like building GBM, the brand, as a production company. So, like, definitely I'd be Matt's in the game, looking at artists that I want to work with, seeing what the vibe is at a certain point in time. Destra's Big Sis and Destra's Destra. So it's like, why not? We had done 2 years of work before that. Liro was actually on that rhythm first, and I think Conquer Me was like the brainchild of GB, because they have family relations. So at that point in time, we focusing on building the brand production, wise GB2 would be thinking about artists that we could, work with and collab with and stuff. So he called in Lero. Lero came up to the studio, vibes, both of them vibes, back and forth, come up with Conquer Me. At the point in time, as us, we've been working with Dasha. We are 2 years in now working with her. The rhythm strike GB as something that, D might be interested in. So, I mean, these things is kind of just go off of personal intuition, us trusting each other as a team. A man might have an idea. Somebody might even express their idea. They might just bring forth the product and say, well, this was something I was thinking about. And it have stuff that gets used and have stuff that don't get used.
Right.
So it's just a real natural process most of the time, all the way through. I know that some people could calculate the moves and stuff like that, and we could sure do that too. But I just think that we enjoy it more when it's organic.
Yeah, it don't feel natural.
And we back. This episode powered by Pops Punch.
The red and the yellow, the 13 and the 20%.
It makes a pretty color when you
Put
mix
it together. You get 33.
Pops.
I
33.
I want to know why the red one more potent than the yellow one.
Yeah, that's strange.
Because it got bloods in it.
But watch now, right now this 33%.
Yeah, but
Real good, real good.
Alright, so GB, Nutron. When Steven was here, he was saying that he had to really watch Lyrical go through it, being like he kind of got a lot of pushback because everybody kind of dubbed him like an outside artist, even though he's from Trinidad, born and raised Belmont. Did you face any of that kind of pushback when you started to come on the scene?
To be honest, I think I'm a little bit naive when it comes to things like this. Maybe. I think whether or not I've been facing that, I wouldn't really recognize it because I've been so focused on just, again, my personal goal now. What do you think?
It may be because your paths were different too.
Yeah.
That too.
Maybe because you had the producer out first.
Yeah, and
People need beats to sing on.
yeah, I've been not to make it sound like that, but I've been around for a while. But I think, all due respect to, people like Leroy and other artists as well. Being an artist is a totally different ball game. It's like no matter what you was doing before, you're going into the artist politics on zero. So I've definitely had to work my ass off to maintain as an artist. But you see, it's difficult for me to answer that question only because maintenance of that is not based off of other people's opinion for me. It's,
Talk nice.
yeah, it's based off of my personal, me gauging myself and saying, I need to step up here, or I need to push more here, there.
That's right. Do you think coming up to the States, did you, I don't want to say lose the love for the original Soca and Calypso, or was it harder to get back into it? Did you have to reintroduce yourself to it when you're coming up to the States? Because it's easy to get indulged with North American culture and then want to forget your roots. Did you ever lose that? Did you have to get back into it, or?
Oh, I got that. In New York, definitely.
I feel like in New York is not. It's
overrun by Jamaicans and Trinidad.
Because even when you talk about it, you be in Brooklyn, it's just
it's
even
not,
when we went to Brooklyn earlier.
It's not the same because
it's not the same here.
Over
No.
here, it's totally different.
I wanna be real too. I wanna be real with that question and say that, being in Trinidad doesn't necessarily mean that you're smothered in that culture. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're smothered in Calypso and
Facts.
the gems of our culture.
I think that's a mindset that we have up here.
Yeah,
Being
but
in
that's
Canada,
a
we think
very-
it's
that's a
all
misconception.
soca all the time, every single day, and I realize that
it's not like that, so-
it's not like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to make it sound like a negative thing. It just, the reality of it is that, what I mean? You hear people talk about it all the time. It's true. You spend most of the year listening to other genres of music on the radio stations and stuff like that. When the
Boxing
season,
Day comes.
Yes, sir.
yeah, when the carnival season come around, you have people who saying like the music not good this year, better only play 2017. This is all example, right? Stuff like that. Like, yo, we have years and years of like soca music in existence, calypso music. There's so much to appreciate. You know, you look at other genres. Sometimes the producers they sample, they go back into like soul stuff, R&B, classic stuff for rap. For some of the stuff that happening in trap and thing right now, some people may not realize the piano loops and stuff like that is old samples of maybe jazz music and stuff like this.
Yeah.
In soca, we don't really have that kind of connection to. I don't think we really have that kind of connection to the past stuff. So for me, being outside, it was kind of like my appreciation went up because now I tapping into that off of sheer personal interest.
Do you mean past stuff as in past calypso or past like jazz and soul?
Well, more like calypso, soca, that type of thing. Like a lot of people, 2 years ago, a lot of people asking me like, yo, what make you think about putting brass in scene, boy? I mean, have you listened to like some of the early soca? You listen to Shadow and like, have you listened to these people? They've been using live instrumentation and stuff.
You know what's ill about your sound? And like me and him had conversations about this all the time. Like I could never really pinpoint something and say like yo, Nutron gotta step it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how certain producers, like, they have, like, a signature sound? Like, everything that you do, like, is always abstract, but it's always ill at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the prototypical thing where you come in and, like, yo, this is a soca beat. It's, like, it's this its own thing, and then it feels like then you make it, and then you form the record around the beat. And then it just come out crazy.
We were talking on the way over here. We were talking because one of his songs came on in the car, and it just happens to be Kevin's favorite song at the moment, Life 101.
Milko's my hero.
It was the Jay-Z song Cry, but that's not the original because Jay-Z sampled that too. So you want to tell them where the original sample came from?
Yeah, you gotta pull the phone out.
Yeah, I mean,
Love the facts.
let's get the facts correct. Now, one of the first places I heard that sample is in Jay-Z's Song Cry song. But the original is Bobby Glenn, Sounds Like a Love Song. That's where the original sample come from. That Jay-Z and they sample.
So when we talk about long time listening to Shadow and growing up on Merchant, I want to ask.
He wrote that on Utica. This guy's a fraud.
I want to ask Milko the
On
question.
East 40 between Foster and Park.
Oh, fair.
I want to ask Milko the question. How are you feeling about Soca Kingdom?
What do you mean, the song?
Yeah, like how like Super Blue, one of the greatest of all time. Marshall Montano, one of the greatest of all time. It's two different generations coming together.
First to begin with was the way that they put out that song. 10 out of 10. One time. The anticipation behind it, the whole build up of it was like
Facts.
was like we waiting for something epic. And then when you put
And we didn't even know Super Blue was on
and
it.
exactly, so it's like we waiting for something epic, and then when we finally get it now, it's like, boy,
It more epic
Super.
than you
Yeah.
expected it to be.
Trust me. Soca Kingdom is the next Avengers movie.
I give it,
It's a Soca song.
you know what I mean? I like it. I definitely like it. I listened to the song for almost an hour.
I can relate.
I play that song at work.
This guy came jumping in the crib the other night, like
Yeah,
Soca.
I listened to it for almost an hour.
Flex is a real wild man too. All you don't know. Flex is a real wild
I think everyone had that reaction when they saw Super Boo was on it. That's what
Yeah.
cause every year we know Marshall's supposed to come up with a power right before Carnival comes, and we always when he comes up with that last sneak chew, and then we're like, okay, taking road march. That's how it always goes. When I seen Super Blue, I was like, you remember I came up on Twitter and I'm like, Marshall and Super Blue, what? With a bunch of question marks. I had to go YouTube it right away just to see that. I'm like, yeah, it's a good look. It's a big look.
And this song not bad. This song is a good song. I like it.
Alright, so then what's y'all what do you say to the people back home or abroad who saying this year the music is trash?
Everybody entitled to their own opinion. Huh?
Yo, GB is so political.
I just had to say, just use YouTube and you'll see the good songs. It have a lot of good songs out there. I'm not gonna lie.
Like
Hey,
the
you
Ivory
gotta
Coast
tell us,
rhythm.
man.
You know, just use YouTube. Don't let your phone be smarter than you. You know, use YouTube and look for the songs. We have good music. Like all the artists been putting out stuff. Just go and look.
I mean, I tell people like on a weekly basis, if you looking at the music this year, if you're looking at it in terms of it and wanting it to be 2017, then nothing's gonna really live up to your standards. Like you're not gonna like anything if you want everything that you hear this year to sound like 2017. And unfortunately, that's just not how our culture and the music in our culture works. Like it changes, and especially with people like the new generation, right? With you, like you know, like the whole GBM movement, Voice, Irfan, who else? Pretty. Second, like it's just a different wave of energy and a different kind of approach to the culture. Nyla, like it's just a different approach. Even Kes, like just the sounds sonically, like it's different from what we used to hear as kids and what our parents are used to. And
It's
that doesn't
extremely. It goes even further. Continue.
and that doesn't necessarily not make it soca, but it's just it's just our time right now, like y'all time right now, and that's just how you interpret it.
Well, this thing is like, you know, at this point in time, I'm still like a fan of music, but I'm on this side of the spectrum now. Like I'm putting out music, I'm sharing music with people. So when I hear like, you know, those opinions, I already know to myself, like, you know, that those people who have those opinions, they not interested in going deeper into who it have and what it have going on, because there's a sorry to categorize it like this, but this is what it is. It's like a sub generation as well of people like Prince Pronto, Jimmy October, Abdiel. You know, they are like Nessa Preppy, they Trinidadians, Trinbagonians, however you want to call it, but they really into some different like a futuristic island sound. So it's kind of like it have levels, it have things there for everybody. If somebody feeling like, oh, the music is this or the music is, you know, it's because they probably not connecting with anything. You know, they're not really doing they're not putting in any work to connect either. So I don't even pay them any mind.
I got another
They
quick
ride
question.
out.
So who got the bail money for, you know, bailing people out this carnival season?
Take a long sip of the 33.
We don't need
Who
no
we
bail
bailing
money
out?
here.
Whoever teeth and wine.
Yeah, whoever teeth and wine.
No teeth.
Teeth and wine.
Yeah.
Big man, I have my watch. I not
Do you have a
whining.
permission slip on your phone or something?
I not whining.
You have a permission slip
How do you
app?
guys feel about that though? Because like, that's something we've been asking. Like, how do you guys feel about this whole criminal wine, this permission to wine thing going on?
It's a sticky thing because it's like you have all kind of different emotions jumping up in this. Like obviously we'll have females who does experience a lot of heckling and
Yeah, definitely.
I mean you see the videos is like you see the videos of
That's some real thirsty man.
you see the videos of some testy man who can't
To
control
me, it
themselves.
seems extreme. Like I haven't been to Trinidad Carnival yet, so I'm still like all you guys. Obviously, you guys have been, and they've been before too. So like, to me, like I'm like, is it really that bad in Trinidad for them not to make a
Sometimes.
law now?
Sometimes.
Because up here,
sometimes.
like I've been going caravana since I was little, but up here it get bad because that's just how the men up here stay. And I've been to New York and I've been other places, but I'm like, for it to be a law now, we're gonna get locked up for this. I'm like, yeah,
I
it
mean,
seems like extreme to me.
I am a believer of
Christian
being
man.
real, right? I'm a believer of being real. I'm not bashing anybody. This is just my thoughts, my opinion on it. It's very difficult for the forces to follow through with a speeding ticket,
Oh,
with a
Lord.
seatbelt ticket. You know, with tickets for things like tail lights being out and stuff like that. And I mean, yo, this is common knowledge.
They're not enforcing no
I
teeth
want to see how the enforcement of
they're
this
not
teeth and wine
enforcing no
thing
teeth
going
and
on.
wine.
I feel
The
like-
police not gonna be
I
in
said
the
the
party
same
looking
thing.
like, oh, you didn't ask for.
Yeah.
for
But yo,
Come on.
Because up here,
Go-
the police be
Sir,
teething
did
wine
you ask for
anyway,
that
so-
wine?
not even, sir. They even
Did
come
you
to
get
like
your
that.
permission?
They even come to you
Nah,
like
the police
that.
be teething wine here at
They
caravana
talking
every
about
year.
you could get locked up for that. Put on some camo and see how fast they come get you. And walk in front of Westmore with like a camo shirt or some camo shorts. You going straight to jail.
What I do want to respect, though, is maybe the females that feel a little bit more comforted by this. Maybe they feel like they have a little bit more control over their personal space. Because as I say, I mean, yo, we know that the carnivals just have some real best circulating. And as much as it have best circulating, it have real tusty man too.
Tosties,
So,
tosties.
it's
They
like-
grabbing them and thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day,
It
you
comes
can't,
with it.
you can't be
It's
forcing her
always-
to do anything against her will. So that's what it really comes
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
to. But like,
I think that anybody who understands that whole situation holistically, just you understand where it coming from, you understand both sides. You're going and be jamming, girl, like
Same way,
normal.
same way,
I think,
same
I
way,
think
same way.
that
I want to know if a girl come and push back on me
If I
without
could go to
me
the
giving
police.
permission.
Hey, you gotta press
saying.
charges.
Where's
my
the
brother.
scene?
My brother, you
gender,
gotta press
gender
charges,
equality,
my
my friend.
Exactly.
Oh,
brother. You gotta press charges.
Exactly.
When you say press charges, you mean like literally or pun intended?
oh
No,
god.
you gotta press charges.
Well, I die why I saying. Because I know
think-
if it's you pushing back at... Alright,
I think that law or that whole rule is only gonna play
Find
with people who
somebody
don't
to
understand how the culture works. Most of the time, when as a girl speaking, the guys who don't understand how to take a wine or how the wine works is because they don't understand the culture. They think like, okay, you dance with me for these 30 seconds, that must mean you want to dance with me for the next 30 minutes. I'm like, no, it don't work like that. They don't get that idea.
Take your chorus and
Take your
one
chorus and
verse
go along. Listen.
And
That's all you have to
Yeah.
do. But some the guys who don't understand that, they don't know. So there goes the law for you now. You know. So now you can learn it now.
well, question: this whole Moto and Shawn Marshall take jam. I heard it's been banned for being too violent.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of nonsense going on in Trinidad, Hoss?
man,
You might have to add the horse.
you know, it have songs like Kicking She Back Door.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Fire.
Even the Kerwin song that had Tech Jam. What song was that?
Oh, and that was No Apology.
Right, that had the
You
words
see-
Tech
you
Jam
did
in
say
it.
Take Jam in that.
Yeah.
I think this has happened from time to time, and a lot of people may not realize it because they wouldn't get wind of the information. I remember a similar situation when Ravi had Prescription. There was like a women's group. They kind of like they took offense to some of the things in his songs, and there was just like a specific group that wasn't gender based, but they took serious offense to the song, basically saying that the song promoting alcoholism because of the lyrics going, doctor give me prescription, a bottle of rum a day, 2 bottles of rum a day, 3 bottles of rum a day. It's like we live in a world of opinions.
Yeah.
And everybody has one.
Yeah, but not to like
Everybody's
police,
entitled.
not to police a whole culture, man. That's too far.
You know, we had to face it. Some people just not with it. Some people just not with it, and they will have their moments where they speak out because they have a voice too, so on and so forth. We on this end of it, when what was his song? What was his song last year? Open up like a folder. I wanna damage it.
Your time now.
Your time.
My Lord, Olia. Jam it business on the road.
Well, I would have got
God.
locked up last year. I'm telling you. If it is the law was in full effect,
Girl,
I
come,
might
I
have
wanna
got locked
damage
up.
it. I wanna damage it.
I look
That's
at the
some
Tifa
more
wine
violent.
everywhere.
That's some more
Yeah.
violent than Tech Jam.
Yeah, I'm more
So-
violent than Charlotte and them thing, for
and,
sure.
And I was out there again on bad. So it's like,
Based on the Carnival to Remember video, y'all was definitely wilding in the street.
where's that boy? Milko is my hero.
Oh, Lord.
Milko's a man? Milko. How has your life with the women improved since you got your newfound fame, my friend?
Improved?
Yeah.
Nah, I never really had lady problems, boy.
Wait.
Yo, talk nice to them, Milko. Talk nice to the people.
Nah, I never
There it
really,
is.
I
There
never
it
really
is.
had
You
that
got
kind
no
of.
problems. You brown skin with dreads.
I never really had
That's
lady
it.
problems.
That's
Is that your truck in Tennessee? Where's that boy?
That's
But
it.
nah, you know, is with attention, you know.
So next year when I come down, you got all the hoes, right?
Brother man, I said lady problems.
Same thing. You just don't know their names.
I didn't say ladies.
Ladies. It's a lady with a Y.
Lady.
Oh.
D.
Lady?
Yes,
Oh, so you-
singularize move one at a
Yes,
time.
we'll go tech.
Oh, I thought you was married.
No.
Alright.
One at a time. One at a time.
Oh, gosh.
You just want to know where the hoes at. Bro.
But if you want I have friends. So if you make your way to Trinidad,
Just make sure they don't take me like
Up in Laventille.
Up in
like-
Laventille.
No,
Let's
no,
check
no,
on
no,
it.
and take
Up
all
in
my
Laventille.
shoes.
good thing is good thing. But what you know about cookery? But what you know about cookery though?
Yo, y'all forget I'm a Grenadian dog? Come on now.
You ever went cookery?
Yeah.
We
So you
doing
don't know nice
cookery.
girls in cookery?
Yo, real recognize real, man. Yo, shout out to my dog, man. Mango.
Mango?
Yeah.
Mango from Cookery. Big up
Big up
yourself.
yourself, my brother.
Big time, my dog. And what's his name? I forgot his nephew. Whatever, but
Mango nephew. Big up yourself.
Yeah.
I know.
One time. So any more music coming out of the bag of music?
I have one more.
One each?
No.
No, one more.
just
One more.
one from-
It's a collaboration between myself and a BIM brother. Big up the Barbados posse.
Definitely.
It's not gonna be another "Give It to You" remix.
Nah.
Please no.
So wait, so how you just equated to be Marsville just so
No,
it
but-
reached there.
No,
And
but
it is
serious thing.
Marsville.
Serious thing, Maz. Serious. Where's really going on with what really going on with all the different remixes? Like
How
I hear
many is he at
Patrice, the one with Skinny Bad.
The
right?
Skinny.
Skinny
Yes.
zero on top.
Skinny Patrice.
And
No
Patrice.
freaky.
Right
Or
now,
just-
Give It To You is We Fly High. That's what it is.
I still
Or
like
One-
that tune.
Or One Blood. Something like that.
I still like that tune.
Wicked tune though.
All right, so GBM and Mars will come in. All right. And nothing more.
Yeah, I on 5 and I stopped right there.
Well, after the bag,
Well, yeah.
one more song for the bag, and then that wraps the bag as is a 17-song compilation. We're doing some T-shirts to add as memorabilia along with the compilation.
Okay.
Of course, we doing some like refresh. We refreshing the album from over the summer, and we didn't get to properly distribute copies of that.
Yeah.
So that is another project we undertaking right now. And then we just have music
Yeah.
for after, because we not stopping, you know. But the bag is like we zip up the bag
Yeah,
for a
the
little
bag
bit
is zip.
and leave whatever in the bag until we ready to open the bag again. But we still gonna let go. So we have like there's a song on the album Clean that we really looking to push as a single. We already have a music video for it.
Yeah.
Probably around April or so.
Make that time.
We have music for days. So
I want to touch on back to some of your releases. So My favorite release from you this year is New Swag 101. That's my new national anthem. So I got a 2-part question for you. What the hell? First one, what the hell is this white oat straight to the face business? And the second one is, who the hell is Miss K and what way is she showing us to go?
So white oak shit. White oak is rum.
A staple, boy.
White oak is rum.
A staple.
And even though white oak is not
What is that, boy?
endorsing
What is that,
me,
boy?
I am endorsing white
Check
oak.
way, we need our sponsorship. Come on.
Cut the check.
White oak straight to the face is like, if you really see me on Carnival Monday and Tuesday,
Nah, not Carnival Monday and Tuesday.
We didn't.
Not Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Every other day. Every other day but Carnival Monday and Tuesday, actually.
Oh.
It's the complete opposite, because Carnival Monday and Tuesday is a completely different type of move.
yeah, true.
But every other day, we have a bottle of white oak.
Yeah.
I bet.
Um,
And who's Miss K and what way is she showing us to go?
So Miss K is GB's mom, and key holder. This woman is a special being. This woman is a special being. Like K, she just have a personality. Like she's the same way since day one, and this is years ago. I know GB over 10 years. This woman is a baller energy. She, like, I've seen her Soca Monarch, she in the front of the crowd, waving to the artists and them on stage. You understand? Waving flag and thing, and whoever else in the front there with her, whoever other girls and thing in the front when there's an artist that she support, and they run out and thing, she tell them all they have to fucking wine. And this, yo, big up to Keyholder. She's like a everyday inspiration for me, just because like she just honest. And she know thing. So she will show you the way, trust me.
Fast shouts to Miss K.
So speaking of Soca Monarch, you guys didn't enter into this year.
This year, nah.
Any specific reason? No. Just wasn't feeling it.
I mean, Milk could speak for himself. But me is like
What's after?
me. So Soca Monarch experience for me was I don't know. There's like a love-hate thing going on there with me and Soca Monarch. I grew up respecting Soca Monarch, seeing it as like a staple in the carnival season, something that associated with Trinidad Carnival and other carnivals as well. It's associated with certain artists, like, you know, certain songs, stuff like that. And I grew up like interested enough. And then when I get to kind of maybe learn a little bit more about it and see, you know, see the politics that is happening around it, and because of it, it's like Soca Monarch itself is, it's just a love-hate thing, man. So sometimes I feel always because of the patrons, and I figure that, you know, certain patrons only go to Soca Monarch, they get to see all artists putting on a certain kind of show, you know, giving an extra effort to put on a presentation and have props and stuff like that. And I feel like I want to be a part of that because I want fans to be able to see me in that forum as well. And I want to be a part of that forum with, you know, my fellow artists and so on and so forth. But it is a competition. And I just feel always about competing musically. I really feel like, I don't know, I just feel it difficult to judge those kind of things. But Soca Monarch is where it is. And, you know.
Did you enter last year, Milko?
Yeah.
Into last year?
You had enter last year for real?
Yeah. I mean, if I enter last year, I'm going
Eyes
to
off.
be for
Ton.
It's a clown, blonde moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to what you know. I mean, in the house.
Who's spooning who?
Nobody spooning nobody, bro.
Yo, what is this? Like,
Yes, Milk, as you're saying about entering Soca Monarch.
well, for
What was
me,
your experience like last year?
I mean, to to be honest, if I were to be bluntly honest, it really wasn't much of experience in terms of the crowd because I didn't really perform for nobody. I performed for like two people or three people. I was really lead. But like with the band, it was a good performance. I mean, the little production that we decided to put on and that kind of thing. I was proud of it, you know. So it was a good vibe in terms of, you know, the work that we put in and, you know, the execution of the little production that we put on. With regards to why I didn't enter this year,
even though you have a big tune, eh?
to be honest with you, I'm not on the production or the organization of it, Chad. It was like since October, everybody's saying it have no Soca Monarch, it have no Soca Monarch, it have no Soca Monarch, it have no Soca Monarch. Up to January, it had no Soca Monarch, and then they come like a Saturday evening and announce that have Soca Monarch and registration closing on the Tuesday. And it's like, yo, you see all that? I mean, that's not really a place for me to push myself because I'm not really on that vibe. You know, the competing vibe and that kind of thing. I on making music and just touching hearts, touching souls. I really don't know what I was going to say there, but yeah, touching hearts and souls.
I feel like for y'all and like any hot artist right now, like it's not even really worth it because like the market for the music and the advancement of technology and everything, like yo, y'all could end up in Spain, like. Them people with them organizations, they can't really pigeonhole you home and like force you, you know, to do anything you want to do. Like, it ain't really worth it. Like for 300,000, you know what I'm saying?
Just to be my normal diplomatic self. It's kind of like we saying that because we out here tour. We seen it we have a different perspective on it. You know what I mean? We kind of out here in a zone where we seen the rise of artists like literally from the club to Billboard, like Cardi B. You know, you're looking at people like 21 Savage. Where the hell did he come out from?
Right.
You understand? It's like we seeing and we understanding the potentials it have based on technology and being an independent brand or artist in this timing. But you have a lot of old boy systems. You have a lot of people who, you know, they're not into the technology like that. They might be coming across the content, but they're not really that curious as to where how the content being put out. And it's almost like even whom as an artist, they sometimes you had to be present. They want to like see you. They want to see you being involved in a certain way in order to, you know, give you a certain respect. Whereas it have artists who they have never been even in the same country as before, and you know they would have a certain respect based off of the perception of, you know, that artist's music, their videos, so on and so forth. But we don't have artists whom as yet that fully on that wave. Like there's two people for sure whom that now really understanding it to me, but I'm hoping that they don't really get caught up too much in the carnival thing, because not because carnival is a bad thing or anything like that, just that I think that their potential is way beyond that. Nyla and there's Abdiel, like their rollouts been crazy. Song, video, promotion, lots of content for fans to connect with, you know, appearances and so on and so forth. It's like they're doing something that they're creating their own wave, they're creating their own system. I think GBM, we've been like that from the beginning too. It's like we've been doing our own events, we've been showing up where we want to show up, you know, just under good vibes, but just being our natural selves, rather than
Nyla.
Really trying to match the
Nyla, I want to be a black man.
Wait.
Oh,
I'm just putting it out there, boo.
Oh god. Do you guys think that Soca Monarch has taken that hit since, like, so you bring up technology? Obviously, technology plays a big part in getting your music out there. Like helps you, like, so you see like Cardi B can go from the club to Billboard. So you think that Soca Monarch's taken a hit in that sense that like is not doing as big, it's not as important as much. The funding is going down. Before it used to be what, 2 million Trinidad dollars if you won. Now what you guys said is 300.
300,000.
That's a big difference.
But that's just this year, you know. It's been times like that before too. It's been times before where the prize money drop and stuff like that. You know, who's to know what they're gonna make of it next year? But if everybody who has interest in it just keep sitting by and watching it go up and down, and not really getting involved and, you know, really genuinely trying to help. Like, before the prize money going up and down and all these different things, to me is like just the organization itself needs to get with the times. The artist needs to understand that maybe the organization needs some help with getting with the times in terms of, you know, I think maybe like 2 years now they really started to step up on their social media promotion and stuff like that. They had like some cool stuff going around. They had merchandise and stuff like that. But
Yeah, the Eye for Soca business.
yeah, the ISM, Eye for Soca campaign that they did and stuff like that. And I think they maybe just need to develop some more concepts like that to connect, because, as I say, it's always a talk. Every year is always, you know, Soca Monarch, who going in Soca Monarch, where's the prize money, It's like, people need to, if people that interested, get involved and, you know, figure out positive ways to really make it a situation that would be more desirable.
So do you guys think Voice is gonna be that three-peat, that 3-time champion?
You know, for the past 2 Soca Monarchs, Voice been my artist. I can't lie. Last year Orlando give him some tempo though. I'm not gonna lie.
I feel
Like,
like
I
last
personally
year-
feel like Orlando could have taken it.
I feel like last year I think everybody was really pushing for second star to take it. I remember
Yeah,
like
second.
listening to the radio. Everybody thought
Second had this song.
Kings and Queens was gonna really be
Yeah.
the one to take it. I was shocked when he didn't place like in the top 4.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Fuck up there.
I think Voice taking it though. Voice gonna 3-peat.
You know,
He
or
can.
it'll get tired.
He can.
I know what you're gonna say.
But
If he wins,
If I had
it's a man like Blacks.
Oh Lord.
If Iowa had-
Don't bring up Iowa.
if
This
he
is
wins,
Soca Monarch, eh?
Blacks.
they gotta really.
Blacks. Watch Blacks. I telling all they
This
watch
Soca
Blacks.
Monarch.
Yeah.
It's had a year, the year when Iowa went with Fet After Fet, right? It had some other songs and it had competition. And I don't think that people had expect that Iowa song would have really mash up the way it had mash up, because that was in a time into where power was reigning a certain way too.
Yeah.
And Iowa come and flatten Soca Monarch with Fet After Fet.
That's interesting because I think that was the first year they had groovy
Yeah.
soca, and that would, just by the tempo of the song, would be considered groovy.
So
So it's interesting to see him like win the power with,
Yeah.
with the groovy song. That was really incredible.
you can't sleep on people like, you see people like Farmer and
Farmer.
Blacks.
Big up Uncle Farmer.
Yeah, for
Can't
sure.
sleep on Iowa. You can't sleep on them. You cannot,
true.
because they have experience, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could talk about a Hulk song because I see Blacks perform the song, and out of the entire set and other performance of that night, like, honestly, that was the only performance that I felt, the way that he delivered the song, and that was the only performance that I felt. And I am honestly going to say that I'm not a super fan of that song, but I give Blacks that, boy. He could perform the
the
hell
way he
out of it.
Yeah, because perform is one thing. The song is one aspect of
It's
the
the
competition.
performance is the next.
performance is the next.
Yeah.
I'm about
That's
to box
it.
y'all in now. So since we on the topic, Savannah or Soca Kingdom,
We're asking, man.
which one's
Which
taking
one?
it?
Yeah,
Which
pick
one winning the road match?
Yeah.
Soca Kingdom.
Soca Kingdom.
Easy thing.
Easily.
You got-
Yeah, I mean, that is not my question. That is not my question.
For sure.
Can we get into story time real quick?
Yeah, let's go.
That's when I pour my drink.
Welcome back to In the House, people.
And it's story time.
So they have a story here. They have a story. I don't know what his story is. So all it'll judge me based on my reactions.
I ain't involved.
I mean,
Sip my drink.
I really can't blame Nutron for anything that transpires in the story. I just know he was there.
Nah, we definitely blame him.
Guilty
We
by
coulda died.
association. though.
No, we will tell that story after because
Okay, alright,
we told that story to Steven.
So, for the record, This is the guy from Storytime Part 1. This guy right
Oh
here.
Lord.
So let me tell this quick story first, right? So it was
Then I
Foam Fest, 2013. You shall
Yeah, Jaiga.
TC, yeah.
TC
At the time, TC.
TC at the time.
You guys had the artist team with you guys as well. I think Marcus was
Yeah,
here.
Marky.
Yeah.
Big up artist team.
So-
Artist team.
Shout out to X-Base.
So Marky and I have a mutual friend that I went to school with up here. I went to university with. So that's how I met. Like
Who's
got
that mutual
introduced.
friend?
Her name was
God.
No, her name was Kim. Her name was Kim. You know
Who the hell
you
is
know
Kim?
Right? Yeah, you know Kim, man.
I know, but
It doesn't even have anything to do with her, right? So
Hold on.
now,
Jesus
so
Christ.
we had some friends that were lining with you guys before the party. So they were like, okay, they asked me to come pick them up. They didn't invite me to the lime. They asked me to come pick them up from the lime, take them to the Fed. All right.
That's straight one.
So then I had another friend with me in the car going down to the Fed, right? So we're outside the hotel. She said she had to use the washroom. Cool. It was two girls in the car. One said she had to use the washroom. I was like, cool. She went upstairs. About half an hour passed. She ain't come back yet. So the next friend in the car was like, okay, I'm gonna go see where she is. Cool. Another 10, 15 minutes pass. The second friend comes back down and says, oh, I need to get all their clothes out of the car. So I'm like, yo, what do you mean, like, you need to get all the clothes out of the car?
asking questions.
And she's like, oh, we're gonna stay upstairs and lime. So I'm like, well, when was this arrangement? How do you go from you wanting to use the bathroom and 45 minutes later is, oh, we don't need your services anymore.
X is the snow driver.
I just
He
like
is
to
the
say-
snow driver.
I like to say for the record, only one half of H1 fell for that because the other half would have saw it coming.
Yeah,
so
bro.
everybody didn't know.
He's the snow driver, bro. They pay up.
I was like, all right, so then y'all don't need no ride home because
6'9"
however y'all getting
boy.
to the party,
Yeah.
you.
Don't tell me you dropped them home.
I
Don't tell me you dropped them home.
At the end of the night, I felt bad. I dropped them
Oh
home.
God.
I dropped them home.
Don't save her.
So hold on, where they was Lyman?
I don't know, but they ended up on stage with y'all.
Again, let the record show that was only one half of H1 that took that L.
Let
the time.
Let the record show that
I wasn't no DJ at the time though, so if it will happen today,
nobody man.
it's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah, because H1 wasn't a thing.
That's
then.
2014.
H1 was H1 became a thing in 2014.
So
Am I
yeah,
involved in this
Look how
story?
you come up.
I mean, he was there.
Yeah,
You were there.
Your room they went by.
You mad or what?
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, they stole my friends.
Who's the day?
Shal.
Shall.
Jaiga.
Jaiga. Full
Nutron.
stop.
Neutron. And Marcus.
Neutron way.
Hey yo, don't implement my dog X base in this. He was in the country. Look it out for you, dog.
Or they implemented.
Marky always have people thinking being snow driver.
Jesus Christ, Milko.
Oh yeah, boy.
That's some technical engineering over there, my friend.
Marky.
So-
Watching here.
You want to tell the second
So
story?
the first story is basically that you was a snow driver. Damn.
It happens-
No, because of you. That's what
Oh,
you're trying to say.
because of
He was a
me.
snow driver because of you.
Because of me in Foam Fed, I was no one.
Because the famous artists and
In Foam Fed,
And his
I was.
friends. The famous artist and
And
his
his
friends.
Man,
You know what? On behalf of that famous artist and his friends, I don't know what happened. I mean, it's like it seems that
But you was one of the friends, maybe and his friends.
well,
On behalf of your, like, the famous artist and us.
all they realizing is Milko wasn't even there. Milko wasn't even a sperm yet.
I damn.
I just want to say to you, man, sorry, man.
Well, years later we became good friends.
Yeah, man.
So
Who, you and the people?
and you.
And me?
Me and you
No, but
became
I'm still
good
trying to figure out my involvement in this story.
Nah, you involved in story number 2. So story number 2, as the audience already knows.
Tennessee.
Don't look at me. You in the fire right now.
Carnival is wrapping up.
story too.
Milko in the story.
They
Well, you
treat
both
me
know.
like
Milko's in the story too?
Like I should get off this couch, just a hot seat.
So y'all know we gonna cut to the chase. We gonna cut to the chase. So Carnival wrapping up. Steven throws the first binge down to Shagaramas.
Oh my
Oh no, you know what? You reckon?
We're on the stage,
Fall back.
rocking with Dr. J, E-Man, Steven, Willie Chin. You know the place is rocking. We on the beach, everything good. So I hit Flex like, yo, how you getting home? 'Cause we didn't get a taxi to come down there. He's like, yo, don't worry. Then like a couple minutes after he hit me back, he's like, yo, Nutron here. Like, yo, I'm gonna hit Nutron. He's like, yo, come. So we go upstairs to the thing. First of all, we go up there. It's mad bottles of like alcohol. We can't get a cup.
Cups was downstairs, big man. Where's that
to get cups, big man.
The bar was downstairs with
You have
cups.
to go downstairs to get cups and they can get drinks upstairs, big man.
So we get no drink. We try to scramble. We even get anything. So we get food. I'm there. I'm tired. So I'm like, yo, what going on?
Because we put in some manual labor that day. Trust me.
That's a whole different
All
story.
Flex Weiler.
So we go outside. Flex tell me, yo, we roll with Nutron. I'm like,
What?
I bet.
No, I didn't say that. I said we're gonna ask.
I swear you said.
All
we
they
roll.
realizing by story number 2, things getting
This game shaky.
Things shaky already.
This game very
So
wavy.
it kind
I
of
was
invalidating.
I was under the impression the whole time because he said, "Yo, we roll with Nutron." So I'm like, "All right, cool." Let's
No,
go."
but in all fairness, we went binge together.
Yeah.
So if all had really, and we end up leaving, just
I drive, dog.
it was just me, Mil, and somebody else was with us.
Shall.
No,
Shall
but
leave us
no,
there.
but
Shall
leave.
left us there.
Yeah.
So
If
it was
all that-
me, you, and Seth.
Set went binge with us. Big up GBM set.
So long story short, we come outside, we wait, no taxi.
They walked past us. We're like, yo. I'm like, yo.
Oh, it was just me and you alone.
We
It was
can-
me,
we
you,
can-
and
we can
Shal.
roll.
Yeah, it was me
And you, I'm like, yo, we can roll. And he was like,
He's selling lube.
it might
Lou.
have been high,
He's selling
high.
lube.
Might have
He's
been
selling lube.
Lou.
Because if it's one thing we wouldn't do is we wouldn't leave our brother.
Leave
stranded.
our man behind. You're mad.
Especially down in the hole.
You're mad down in that hole.
Somebody
Maybe they didn't
lying.
hear. Maybe they didn't hear me.
Somebody lying.
All
They
they
didn't
realize-
ask me.
all they
Because-
realize
You
is-
definitely didn't ask
Because
me.
me and Jay were like, yeah, all right. And then they kept walking.
Yo, we stand outside, no taxi.
So
all
all
the
end up
cars-
getting out of there.
Yo,
Walk,
we
dog?
walked from what's it called?
That
From
is,
Shaka
Shaka
Cabana to right around the corner just before O2 Park. I was scared the whole time because this nigga walking
See this?
and he got up. He was like he
This
come down.
man
He
blame we, yes. And the man
he
wanna tell
walking
Steven.
outside.
He walking in Jordans.
His Jordans looking fresh, and I'm like,
it
yo,
was Steven's party, so we had to tell Steven.
I'm like, yo, this guy trying to get us killed. Like, yo, we don't know who at binge. They could have just pulled up on the side of the road and be like, yo,
You wanna go in?
run everything where you going. So we walking.
Big man, what size is that, Jordan?
So
I'm watching that
so
too.
you blame us for that?
I'm like, yo,
it
dog,
was-
what are you doing? Go, leave the Jordans. He's like, no, I'm wearing my
You
Jordans.
wouldn't not walk in
yo.
socks?
Leave the Jordans.
Because he had no shoes.
It was really Assassin that put it in perspective to us. He's like, y'all could have really died.
Yeah.
Yeah, only
But
thing I
Yeah,
got
we didn't
We
know.
got-
we didn't know like
We got a ride from,
Demons.
I don't know, like a cop or like an army guy with a van. And he's like, yo, you can't do that kind of thing, but enjoy the carnival. And
Yo,
Be
big
safe.
man thing, the first story is kicks, but you see that day?
Yeah, dog. I know kicks.
all that
We don't do them
kicks.
thing, boy.
Yeah, and that's crazy that happened to all. Yeah, I really didn't know that was all the experience.
It was me and him alone.
Yeah, we had the truck.
Yeah, it was me and him alone.
Yeah, that would have been nothing.
so how we get left in shack?
Because
he didn't
this
ask,
motherfucker
boy. He
never
didn't
asked
ask
nobody
nobody
about
shit,
He's selling you loose because he's studying.
shit.
Yeah, what really going on with him? Flex is
He didn't ask
wild.
shit.
He in binge. He's studying A.
he is slightly retarded, I ain't gonna
birds
lie.
thing.
Birds. That's what he
Right.
studied in bed.
Allegedly.
oh yeah.
We
All that.
going with them. Yeah, damn. You see that crew there?
We going with them.
them dropping we home.
Yo, I was hurt.
When
we
he-
came upstairs, I damn came up, I'm like, yo, dog, I really fuck your music. Like, yo, I appreciate that, man. And you left me.
Can't believe it.
Oh, let's see what going on here.
Yo.
And Milko was there too.
Well, Milk was having fun at bench.
But shout out to Steven. Binge too.
Yeah, big up to Stephen for real. Bench 2 is what date?
The 11th.
The 11th. Stephen, big up yourself. Second year doing it.
We will be there again.
Yeah, make sure you got it right this time.
Is the same venue?
It's at Anchorage this time.
Which is down in the same zone, more or less.
Yeah.
Or they could get a drop this time.
We'll drop all of this time.
Or they could get a drop home. Man, pattern
So
milk.
binge next year, you got them.
Yeah.
I'm
we
coming
have
sure
one for
that
bench.
next year.
Yeah.
I have to. But you guys can't leave us stranded, because nah.
We never leave nobody stranded
Let's
to
say we
begin
find
with.
my hair just in the middle of the corner on the road. We don't
This
need
is
that.
propaganda. This is alleged.
Flex going on
This is a
talk that.
story.
Flex telling people this story.
I'm saving
This
for
is
sure
a
that from now.
So, yo,
Walt Disney, this has story to us. Cinderella's a story.
so now we got that clarified because the plan was to drive somewhere dark and drive you.
No,
After the show wrap
I
up.
watch now. I really see them showing on the way here, you know. and Flex only show them signals as
Yeah, like, yeah, we will drop them on the
Nah,
outside.
right? After the show wrap up, we're gonna drop them in Galloway.
we go drop them around here and see if they can walk
We're gonna drop them in G-Way.
in this winter.
Make them walk down to where my house is. That's all good.
GUA is like cokery, maybe. It's rough.
It's rough. It's rough for
Beat 'em
these.
light. It's a light beat 'em.
You see, unfortunately for y'all, wherever y'all drop me, as long as Milk with me, Milk is the brown rasta.
Shooter.
Yeah, y'all
He
good.
just had to flick the dread so you know. Ching!
Milk is
Somebody is stopping to pick us up.
a
think
former
good.
lead shooter.
They in Toronto, Scarborough.
When he just flick the dread under the bucket so shing and it swings so somebody is going to you guys need a ride?
Oh yeah, the dreads, you definitely a white woman magnet.
Yep. Tell you, brown skin and dreads. That's it.
a police officer. Funny story, while I was in Tennessee, actually.
Yeah?
For my brother's wedding. A policewoman.
Cut.
I was waiting. I tried to play it off, you know?
A policewoman. Now, I was driving. I really make a real terrible drive. It was a terrible drive on the highway. And you know, highways out there is like plenty lanes, 6 lanes, big highway. I swerve across. A police officer who apparently was like DT undercover pull us over. And we drive in a panel van now with New York plates. Me and Milk in the front. We just finished deal with some dry goods earlier. So
And we are dragons in the car.
Woo!
See ya.
In Tennessee?
in
Yo,
Tennessee.
in
Down
Tennessee.
south?
In
Yo,
Tennessee, Tennessee.
Is this GBM or Death Row? What's going on, B?
Where's that with all?
Yo, what the hell going on, dog?
So, so the officer pulls us over and you know, immediately is like, I know I ain't the wrong, so I ain't trying to beat up on things. She asks for registration and license and thing. And she looking directly at me and Milk in the passenger seat, but she's on the passenger side. So I reach in for my stuff or whatever. I just see Milk watch and flick the dread. Bing! As he flicked the dread and she realized, wait, is you saying on here? That drive you make was kind of fuck up, you know.
All charges dropped.
All
But,
charges drop.
oh, they go ahead now.
She said, take it easy out here.
Take it easy out here. Because them kind of drive, all she had to do is watch Milk once. So, the Rasta man, the brown Rasta.
Brown skin rasta. That's
I just hope the camera's seen how much of this we drink. So that drunkness talking over
we
there.
finishing this or what? It's almost done.
That is drunkness talking over there.
So Nutron Milko, what's next? What do you guys have coming up after Carnival? Gonna be a GBM showcase?
Oh, for sure. GBM Showcase annually. March. This year, we in solidify, I think, you know, GB is the person who know venue and stuff in detail. that information and passed on. That's above my pay
Might have to
grade.
make a road trip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But-
If it's in New York, yo, we done.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
both.
definitely.
like
It's like,
18th.
yeah, it'll be around the 18th, 17th, 18th
Oh yeah, we
of
in that.
March.
We in that.
Yeah, in New York. So, GBM Showcase is the first order of business after Carnival. Right now, we're working on some music videos. We've been promising music videos, and we just kind of like fed up of promising. We know that
Wanna
the
do.
fans fed up of being promised. So, we looking to deliver those. And more music,
Never
you know,
stop.
shows.
Going
Merchant.
anywhere, going Spain. Anywhere
So
like that.
far for the year, no, nothing like out of the ordinary schedule as yet. But you know, I mean, is
Sky's the limit.
yes,
The year,
about time.
yeah, the year just
We have
started.
11 more
Well,
months.
you're missing the most important thing. Why they in the city, anyways?
Oh,
Well,
Guess let's plug that.
that must save for last.
Yeah, say the best
Must
for
save
last.
for last. The whole reason that we in the six right now, big up to everybody in Toronto, everybody who's supporting soca, supporting Caribbean culture. We know that Toronto have a lot of different islanders. We have people from St. Lucia, we have people from St. Vincent, Grenada, Barbados,
Dominica.
Dominica, big up
Guyana,
the Dominica,
Railings.
Guyana.
Railings.
Big up the Guyanese, them body.
that's a big
Just
box there,
box
buddy.
Of course, the Jamaicans, the Trinis. So big up to everybody in Toronto coming out to Decal. Don't Cry or Leaving. Sold out 22 years in a row.
Yeah, man.
23 this
So
year.
what's as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
Let me tell you another story.
We
Alright.
always see where Flex
It's the pop sponge.
Walt
at,
Disney. eh?
it was
Big.
Return Fete. They came for Return Fete. Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So we went to the mall, went shopping and thing, and we went to Best Buy. Your friend here, like he took like a box. There might have been like a speaker in a box or something, right? And he put it in front of his lap. He was like, oh, this is. He was like, oh, he said like this is like how Nicki Minaj just be on Instagram with her box all out.
That does not sound like something I would say. I'm just saying.
Eli.
Does it sound like something I would say?
Ask Marky.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
You
does
trying to be
sound like
high.
something you would see.
At that point in
Acting a
time,
fool in
at
Best
that
Buy.
point in time,
He sound like the one
Best Buy
that
had some good deals going on.
he might be the one who want to get spoon though. That's some badness
Hey,
girls.
Yeah, let's stay answer this question, you know. Who getting spoon?
not me.
Yo, we said we died. I mean, I died.
You
if it
died.
have any spooning taking place,
You are.
I spoon.
I'm gonna die. Nope.
So yeah, for sure. Milko and myself, Milko first time to Toronto. We here for Decal, Don't Cry or Leaving, which is tomorrow night, Rebel. That's the 26th.
Ladies,
That's
Tonight.
tonight, basically.
Milko,
So
be clear, Milko accepts hugs, DMs, vagina.
What happened to you? What happened to him?
Show Milko some love, please.
You guys think he'll be back in Toronto, like after Deco?
for sure. Big
Caravana
up to
time?
big up to the Soca Prince Jay. Jay is like, good people's family at this
Always
point.
there.
Big facts.
So he definitely one of the promoters out here holding it down and always giving myself and the team an opportunity. I mean, it's since 2013
yeah.
Foam Fest. Jay been giving us opportunities to come out here and perform and just spread the good vibes. So it's like definitely. He's not the only promoter either, so we definitely will be back. I think it will be a good experience for Milk to come out and get the Caravana.
Milko gonna learn with the brown skin dreads. Caravana time. You gonna learn.
Where's that boy?
You gonna
Tennessee
learn.
boy. Where's that boy? I just want you all to remember one last thing before you all go. Walt Disney told lots of stories.
Oh, you calling me Flex Disney?
Jesus.
Flex
Flex
Disney.
We never leave.
Walt got next.
Never leave all this stranded.
Walt got next.
We'll chalk it up to a miscommunication.
Oh Lord.
It was a
You didn't communicate
it was a
anything.
I know I said, yo, Nutron, we get it right.
And what you say?
Big man.
So wait. You asked me if I ride at the year 5. And that mean here, and he answered.
Because first of all,
Y'all kept walking.
Now that I hear two sides of this now,
Y'all kept walking, and me and him stayed like.
Alright,
No, I'm like, yo, so was that like, yo, we gotta walk like close to the bush. So the whole time I was like, yo,
Move to the bass and the rum, girl, drop to the ground and fill up your bumper. Just move it like you want to jam. So you feel the language and anytime I start to wave, that mean chase or go waste. Cause I drink in the white talk straight to my face all day. We come out to play and breeze with we family all day. Look at that wine I say, Miss K.